Hey guys, you're watching the one and only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Build an Adventure Map. Last episode, we kicked off with building the hull, or a sort of large section of the hull to our airship. First things first, today is I want to make the top a little bit more interesting. It's a dead straight flat line currently, and I don't like that. I want it to be a little bit more wavy. So to do that, we're actually going to have to bring the nose up by a few more blocks, something probably like this. That might even be a little bit too high. Let's bring it down by a few blocks, something like that. So we've gone up like an extra 3 blocks, and what we want to do is we want to keep this about the same sort of angle as what this line is, but a little bit wider. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to sort of slowly tease this back. But then we want to start dropping it down pretty soon. I want it to sort of be at the bottom by here. So what we're going to do is we're going to now drop this down and out. And slowly, I think we're a little bit too far out actually. Slowly sort of bring it down. Again, this is going to take a little bit of tweaking to get exactly right, but you don't really need to worry too much about it as long as you get it close to begin with. It won't be that difficult to sort of tease it to be how you want it again. So we're going to add these down here and slowly tease these little parts in like this. Try and keep it as round as possible. Obviously, you can start off like how we did last episode by keeping it square and then round it off afterwards, or if you think that you've sort of got enough experience of it, of the boat shape now, you can sort of do what I'm doing and round it off as you sort of make your way back. So that one and this one, little more layer here, just a thin one, and I'm going to remove. No, I'm gonna put this in with it. Okay, beautiful. So it now starts off a little bit higher and drops down. I don't think we did end up doing it quite high enough. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add like another 1 block above this section, and then 1 block above that. And I'm gonna do it just 1 block, just like barely wider. Just on that top section. Beautiful-ish. There we go. Okay, so it's nice and high at the front. It slowly comes down. A very sort of aggressive, swooping, piratey feel. Now what we want to do is we want to do the same thing on the back. But I actually want this part here to be where it starts getting taller. So maybe this time we'll try a different tactic. And we shall do it 1 layer at a time. So we're going to do this all the way around to the back. Where's the middle point? That one right there's the middle point. So you're going to add 1 layer each time and occasionally make it a little bit bigger. So that one we went directly on top of the block previous. This one we're going to move it back a little bit. And we're going to make this one a little bit bigger. And go all the way around. It doesn't really take that long. Fortunately, not fortunately for you, but fortunately for me, I have world edit, so I only have to do half of it, and then I can make it fit the other side quite easily. If you're doing it on your own, on console, or if you don't have world edit, then you're just going to have to go all the way around instead of just doing half. It doesn't really take that much longer. I mean, you can see how quickly I'm doing each layer, so just to do it again isn't really that much of a bother. So this one, I'm going to keep the same height as the one previous. And then the one above that, I'm going to make a little bit bigger. About here. Make this one a bigger one again. Keep the sides sort of pretty flat. You don't really want to go too much wider than what we have now. But try and just make it like barely bigger. It's difficult to explain, and there's no real easy way that I can sort of show you how or teach you. Everybody's different, every boat's different, everyone has their own sort of idea on what looks good and what isn't quite as good. So you just sort of have to change parts that you don't like and you know, keep the parts that you do like until you get the boat shape and structure that you really want. Okay, how we look at, we've got this nice curve going up there. That's a perfect curve there. And then I think we're about there. I think I'm going to add one more layer here. And then I think we're at the top. Are we? Oh yeah, we are at the top here. In fact, that looks like a little bit of a square section there, doesn't it? Let's take that away. Put that one. Doesn't even need to be there, really. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. So we've got this beautiful curve that comes up. This section now needs a little bit of tweaking now that we've changed it a little bit. So you're just going to add a few blocks around the place. Keep these curves going that we were talking about. Like that. On the back here, I think it should just go up a little bit taller at the back. I think we probably should have come out another block where we started making it bigger. So I'm going to do that. I'm actually going to bring this out about here. And just tweak away just a little bit. Yeah, like that. It just makes the back of the boat a little bit wider. It was looking a little bit too flat at the back. It was starting to lose the boat shape slightly. And then you can carve away some of these. You'll find exactly when you do the interior of the ship, you'll find out what blocks you need and what you don't need. It doesn't really matter too much. This is a big enough boat that you don't really need to be that exact on making sure that you've got as much room as you need on the inside. Okay, beautiful. I'm going to leave it like that. And we've got ourselves a lovely, lovely boat up and down, swooping feeling now. I think this one I might extend a little bit further to about there. That's better. Okay, I really like that. So, what's the next part then? We're going to have to, I'll mirror it later on, but we're going to have to put some bands down here now. So I'm going to grab some cobblestone and some cobblestone stairs. And sort of how we done the bands when we first sort of were building the hull, we want to do the same thing now, but with cobblestone instead, and make them a little bit more centered to main parts of the ship. So this part, see how it's sort of the middle of this sort of circle that we have on the bottom? You want to sort of put a cobblestone line that goes up it. Like this. At least, not all of these sort of airships have this, but I really like the feel. It makes it a little bit more piratey. It looks like it's being held a little bit more together because it's a pirate ship. It shouldn't really be flying, so they have to sort of structure it together, make it a little bit stronger, so it doesn't like break when it lifts off the ground. Because I'm sure if you lifted a pirate ship, especially of this size, and you just lifted it up, I'm sure it probably wouldn't stay together. What you want to do is you want to do a few of these bands going around the ship. I would say one every 7-8 blocks or so, roughly, and you'll get this sort of ribbed look going around. So I'm going to do that, and I shall be back. Okay. Okay. So I've done that. I've done all the ribs. I'm now just putting a beading going around. This is a beading of cobblestone, 1 block wider than the dark oak, and I'm just trying to keep it as close to it as I possibly can. I think I done a couple of bits wrong there while I was talking to you. Yeah, I did. There we go. That one and that one. I didn't do nothing wrong while I was talking to you. No. You made me do it wrong. It's your fault. Okay, so keep this as close to 1 block wider as you possibly can. Like that. Yeah, why did I go in? I don't know why I went in then. You guys are distracting me. Stop distracting me. And then around here. And then up 1. And around here. Up 1. And around here. And this looks so cool. This little beading is a very important part. Don't miss this out. Otherwise, it can be difficult to really see exactly where the top of the boat is. So it's very, very important to try and do this beading. It's a little bit tricky, but you don't need to get it exactly the same as what I have. Okay, beautiful. Oh, I've missed out a few blocks on this side. That one, that one, that one, that one. That one. Where does it start to go down? There. Okay, beautiful. Okay, and then the beading will around the other side as well. But check that out. We're starting to get something that looks like a ship. Now, there's a few parts of a ship that are missing. The rudder, for example. I want to do a little bit of a rudder down here. So let's go down, make sure we're in the middle. And we want to get a really cool curve on it as well, if we can. I want it to curve out this way. Like this. Oops. Try and get a decent looking shape. I think that's a pretty good curve. And then we want it to sort of curve either down like... Yeah, that would be pretty good. Let's go a few more blocks out. Like that. Maybe one more. And then we want this to curve back up again. I think I want it to sort of go... Yeah, it's going in the right direction. Perfect. Try. If you get stuck, sometimes it's easier to move your mouse as if you were sketching on a piece of paper and sort of imagine where the line would go. Sometimes it helps. Not all the time, but sometimes it helps. And you'll go, yeah, that is the sort of line that I wanted. It makes it easier to build from. Not all the time, though, but just sometimes. You know, just try and sketch it out in your head. Okay, so fill this in. This will definitely make it more boat-like. I think we're starting to get now to the point where you could say it's a boat. If you saw someone building it and you wanted to know what they were building, you wouldn't have to ask them. That's always a good thing with Minecraft. That means you're building in the right sort of way. Now, as far as detail goes on this rudder and cobblestone, I don't know if maybe one little line of cobblestone going down here, I think that will suffice. You don't want too much, because you don't want the rudder to end up being like really thick. But if you just have it something like that, it just adds that little cobblestone colour to the rudder, and they sort of fit together really nicely. I like that. I like that. It's very big. It might be a little bit too big. You can carve it off to make it a little bit smaller if you wanted to. But we've got to remember it's a flying one. We're going to have wings on it and stuff. I do think it's a little bit too low, a little bit too big. But you want it to be pretty exaggerated. Everything about this ship is exaggerated. The heights, the widths, everything about it you want to be slightly bigger or slightly smaller, one or the other, than what it really should be. And that's the sort of best part of this ship, is just how exaggerated everything is. But let's just sort of thinning this out a little bit. Oops. Yeah. Take that one away. And that one away. Oh, and that one. No, I like that last block being there. It's a little bit picky, but okay, that's better. I think that's a much sort of realistic size. So the wings coming out on either side to propel the ship forward. I'm going to build it on this side because it's just my comfortable side, and I've got the beading going along it. You're going to want to find out where you want the wing to start and how far back you want the wing to go. They don't have to be that wide. In fact, if you do them too wide, it might look a little bit too big. Well, I'm going to say there, keep it on the same level and choose another spot. I'm going to say here. Yeah, that'll do. That wasn't the block that I chose, but yeah, that's perfect, in fact. So, once you got that, you can then sort of work out how long you want these wings to be and what shape. I think I want my wings to sort of bend back a little bit and sort of curve, sort of like the rudder did, and just sort of curve back. So you want to start off with a nice straight line and then slowly start curving it in. And as it starts to curve, it curves faster and faster. So it starts off very slow, and then we'll curve faster and faster and faster until eventually it's going to be pointing backwards, which it is now. And once you start pointing backwards, you know that you've roughly got it about right. So we want to do the same thing on the other side now. Bring these back a few blocks. Oh, I'm one block too high. Whoops, that's my bad. Should be on this one. Bring these back here. If you get stuck and you're not quite sure, again, you can go up in the air and sort of just like air sketch where you want it to sort of go. It'll give you a really good idea. So I want it to sort of come down this area. Like this. I tell you what I'm surprised about. I watch a program called Game of Thrones. I don't know if you've heard of it. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. There hasn't been any airships in Game of Thrones. Why not? There should be. Not that I can remember it. I can't remember any airship. But it's sort of something that would suit that sort of style. It's sort of realistic, but in a magical way. I don't know why. I just think there should be an airship. Maybe I should complain. Okay, so that's sort of what the wing is going to look like. I think it's a really good shape. I think it's a little bit too thick. I think it's a little bit too wide. So let's just sort of thin this out a little bit. We definitely don't need it to be that wide. And we want to sort of start curving this. And it'll join up somewhere that we've already built. Somewhere around here. We're getting close. Oops. We're getting closer and closer to the build. And there we go. It's now joined up to it. We now remove that one. We'll back off. Make sure that it's now a better size. Make sure we haven't made it too thin. I think that's much better. Okay, so what we want to do now is have a propeller on here. Or at least design the propeller. We're going to want a log. Oh, it's called wood. Why don't they call them logs? I mean, they are logs. I always type log and it's always wrong. So we want to choose a spot. I'm going to choose here. I'm going to come back, I think 7 blocks for the moment. That's 7 blocks in length. We're going to want to grab some wool, some fence, and some, I think, oak planks. It's a little bit lighter, maybe even birch. As it's even lighter, it's got sort of a little bit more of detailed feel to it. And you're going to put a block there, in there. And I want to have like slightly curved blades, like Zonocraft's windmill, but on a miniature scale. So we're going to do sort of miniature curved blades. Like that. And that's the design we're going to go. So it was 3 blocks, in one for 3 blocks, in one for 3 blocks, and then a little corner. 3 blocks, in for 3 blocks, for 3 blocks, in for a little bit like that, and down the bottom here. Make sure you get the curves in the right direction, otherwise you'll know if you've done it wrong. But make sure you curve each propeller the right way. That one, that one. Okay, so we've got our curve, our sort of propeller here, but it's looking a little bit blank. Have I? No, it is all right, isn't it? Yeah, it just looked a little bit weird. Okay, once you've got that, you're going to place a fence post either on the top half or the bottom half. It doesn't really make a difference. I'm going to go on the top half and put the fences on there. Do the same thing on this side. On this one. And the last one. And then you're going to grab your white wool. Now, the white wool in this texture pack has a sort of brown edge around it. I think it's really going to suit for this, but some of you guys probably won't like it. You'll want to find another white block. Snow. In fact, I might change it to snow because I'm not a huge fan of that. Let's see what snow would look like. Take these away. And you're going to put snow on top of these fences or on the underside. It doesn't really matter what way round you do it. Some people prefer the snow being on top. Some people prefer it being underneath. I like it on top. I think I like it on top. I do like the white better though. So you're going to start off by just doing snow block 1 block thick. We might, or we will, end up making it a little bit thicker in some parts. But just start off so you don't get confused with just 1 layer thick. like that, and like this. Okay. Oops, I forgot a fence post. Once we've got that, we can now think about making it a little bit thicker in some spots. Why does that one look so weird? That one there. No, it's not. It is right. Okay, so I'm going to add one here, two there, two there, two there. That's a pretty easy pattern. See, it makes a teardrop sort of shape. I done that by doing one there, two there, two there, two there. One there, two there, two there, two there. So sometimes it's easier if you make a little song for it. But there we go. So we've got a really cool, detailed looking propeller in there now. I really, really like that. But it's on a tiny little stalk and it doesn't quite look right. We want to sort of build it up a little bit. So I'm going to put some birch, I think 3 blocks deep, like that. Grab these fence posts to go around the side, and we're just sort of going to thicken it up a little bit, make it look not quite as twindly. It looked like this huge propeller was sort of on a stick, and that it wouldn't hold. So we're going to sort of brace it with some fence posts, and now it looks like it's more than strong enough to be able to hold it. We can also continue on this birch through the wing to make it look like a little bit more of an engine feel. We're going sort of very steampunk. I love it. We'll have that like that. Okay, beautiful. Fill in the wing with your dark oak or whatever wood you're using, and I shall be back. Okay, for the next part of this wing design. Once your wing is filled in, you'll see it looks a little bit flat. It's only 1 block deep. It's not really that good. It looks like it's going to fall off. So just like doing a modern plane, you're going to want to thicken this up a little bit, which does mean that we're going to lose this, but we'll put that back later on. We'll make that part bigger. So what you're going to want to do is, a plain wing works in like a teardrop shape. If you see our teardrop sort of propeller here, it's at the front, it's bigger, and then it gets thinner towards the back. So you're going to want to have the front part of the wing thicker than the back part. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to use full blocks above, like this, and I'm going to run this slightly thinner than the middle part, what's going to be the middle layer of the wing that we've already built. So you're going to sort of bring it around like this. Beautiful. And you're going to do the same underneath. So you're going to do it just slightly thinner. You'll fill it in later on. It's a lot of blocks to fill in, but it'll be totally worth it. The wing will look so much better. So you want to fill these in along here. I find it so hard building upside down. Okay, and then at the back, to give it that sort of thinner look at the back, we're going to grab slab, and we're going to actually carve out a block or two. I think I want it on the bottom half. So what we're going to do is you're just going to carve out the blocks and slowly replace them with a slab. Just one slab should do. You shouldn't need more than that. I might add another one. I don't know. Yeah, I might add another one actually. We shall see. We shall take just one away first. And if it doesn't quite look thin enough, I shall add another one. Oops. That one. That one, that one, that one. No, I think I am going to take another one away. So let's take this one away. Oops. Carve that away just a little bit more like this. And just add another, oops, half slab. So their half slabs are going to be 2 blocks thick instead of 1 block thick. And there. Ooh, come on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. And along here. Okay, once you've got that, you can now fill in the rest of the top of the wing and the rest of the bottom of the ring. I would recommend going out to, I think, probably 2 blocks away from where the slabs are. So you got the slabs, and then you got 2 blocks, and then the thicker part of the wing for the top. And then for the bottom half, I think we'll probably do a similar thing. I think I'm going to do it 2 blocks in from the very end. Oops. 2 blocks in from the very end, though, instead. So that'll sort of come along this layer. Okay? And then you want to fill in the top and the bottom like that. I shall be back. Ta-da! We have ourselves a wing. I've just put a cobblestone ring around the front there. We've got this sort of engine part, so we're going to want to just build this up just a little smidge to go sort of around the edge here and sort of build into the wing a little bit. Oh, I really like that shape, yeah. And then something like that. There and there. Oh, that looks cool. Yeah, yes. See that sort of curve as it goes down as well? I really like that. No! Rain, go away. Don't come again another day. So we're going to do something similar on the bottom. They don't need to be exactly the same, but something to sort of mimic the top. And there we go. It sort of looks like it's attached to the wing now. Absolutely love it. Okay, so that's about it for the wing. That's all you sort of really need. If you make the wings longer, you might be able to fit another propeller on there. But I'm going to have one propeller on here, one propeller on there, and then I might end up doing a propeller on the very back of it as well, depending on what it looks like once we've got both wings done. I don't know. If you want, you can grab yourselves cobblestone slabs. I'm going to see what it looks like and add a cobblestone slab ring to the edge of this. I don't know if it's going to look better or worse. In a way, I think it'll look better because obviously the cobblestone then continues on all the way around. In some ways, I think it might look worse because it might sort of take away the shape of the wing. But let's have a look. I think I prefer it. I think I like it. Yeah, I do. Okay, we're going to keep that then. That's all I've got time for this episode, unfortunately. For next episode, I will have the wing done on the other side as well, and the cobblestone beading and stuff like that, so we can actually probably start on the actual hull part of the ship, the floor, and start sort of doing the struts up to the balloon. Gonna be fun. If you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe. We shall see you in the next episode. Bye!